Life is the ultimate endurance event.
This video is not affiliated with WTC or the Ironman brand. It's just me sharing my passion with you.
This episode of Tri Riot is about the 2021 Ironman North Carolina bike course. I filmed a little bit of it this year. I rode the course a few weeks ago. I filmed a little bit of it this year, and I did a mix-up, mashup, or whatever you want to call it, with the footage from the 2019 video. So, you're going to see me riding my bike. I'll be making commentary, and that's from this year. And then there's a bunch of me standing out in the road talking, wearing street clothes, and that's from 2019. The reason I made a new video is because the 2019 video talks about some lane changes that never happened. And it also talks about some lane changes that did happen that are not going to happen this year. All right, with that, here's the video.
Behind me in this field, that is the site of T1. That's the transition area where your bikes will be. Now T1 is in a completely different place than T2. This is a point-to-point bike. T1 is here at Wrightsville Beach, North Carolina, and T2 is in Wilmington.
All right, let's get out there and take a look at the course. The first thing you're going to do as you exit T1 is take a right turn onto Causeway Drive. Before we get too far into this, let me explain that the first 9 miles of this course is all counter traffic. That means you will be riding in the far left lane. Okay, so the first major landmark you're going to come to is at mile 0.5, and that is the Intercoastal Waterway Bridge. This is a drawbridge, which means it has a metal surface. Now, I've got some rules to help you get over this bridge because there have been problems in the past, and as local athletes will tell you that this bridge can be a little dangerous, especially when it is wet. So if it is wet, my advice is to walk the bike across so that you don't slip and fall. It is pretty nasty if you do fall on this surface, and we want to be sure that you don't fall. But if the surface is dry and you follow these 3 basic rules, you'll be fine. The first thing is slow down. Number 2, get out of the aero bars. Ride this in your base bars. And number 3, keep a slow, steady pace as you go across. No sudden moves. You follow those 3 rules and you'll be just fine. All right, leaving the bridge takes us on to the mainland, and this is Eastwood Road. And after about 3.5 miles on Eastwood Road, you're going to come to Market Street. And we're going to take a left turn onto Market, staying in the left lane. Shortly after that turn, we take the Market off-ramp onto College Road, and we're going to use it as an on-ramp because we're going counter traffic, but normally it would be considered an off-ramp. Brings us a U-turn around onto College, and then shortly after that, we take a left turn on the Martin Luther King Jr. Parkway, also called the MLK Parkway. Now, as we ride down here, some of the views might show that it looks somewhat rural, but the city is right on the other side of those trees to the left, and there are housing developments on the other side of the trees to the right, and also the airport is off to the right as well. So you are still in Wilmington at this point. And then at mile 9.7, you'll come to the McRae Street exit. And we're going to take this exit. In order to take it, we're going to make a very hard left turn. We go down the off-ramp. Okay, we're on McRae Street. We take a left onto the on-ramp to get back on the MLK Parkway. And shortly after we get back on the MLK Parkway, we are going to arrive at the approach to the Isabel Holmes Bridge. This is a drawbridge. The surface is metal, just like the bridge over the Intercoastal Waterway, so keep in mind those rules about being safe. And shortly after the Isabel Holmes Bridge, we take a right turn onto US 421.
Just about mile 11, and this is right after the Isabel Holmes Bridge.
So that's the intersection right there behind me where you turn off of Highway 74 onto US 421. As you can see, it's pretty busy, a little crowded. There'll be some traffic on race day at this corner, but it won't be quite this bad. This is a weekday, so people are hustling and bustling to get to work. But you'll turn around that corner and just follow the road right up here and go that direction. And you'll either be in the left lane or the right lane, however it's coned off. Just be prepared for one or the other. And yeah, it's just from here, it's a straight shot up to Highway 53.
Just a couple miles up the road from that turn is the first railroad crossing at mile 13.1.
There are two sets of railroad tracks on US Highway 421 at mile 13 and 16 as you're headed out of town. And you're going to hit them, of course, 4 times, once each set going out and once each set coming back.
We're on Highway 421, just north of the first railroad crossing, and there's a bit of a north wind, which is pretty typical for this area. So you can probably expect some wind on race day. Usually it's a north wind. I'm not going to guarantee it. Right now it's even raining a little bit. Hopefully it won't rain on race day. But as you can see, the road's kind of wide. It's nice, pretty decent condition. I'm riding on the shoulder because it's not coned off, but the road itself is pretty good condition. If you did this race in 2019, you'll remember this part at mile 17 on the bike course where all bikes went from one lane into that lane over there for the bridge, because the bridge was just down to one lane and from repairs. Well, the bridge is all fixed now and it's 2 lanes, so there's no crossing over the road.
All right, let's fly ahead about 10 miles to mile 26.7. This is an area of the county that we call Johnson's Corner.
This is mile 27, and it's also mile 41, because mile 27 goes, you're just going to keep going straight up Highway 421. But the course is going to loop around and you're going to come back here right over at that corner, which is mile 41.
So going straight through this intersection, you'll leave Johnson's Corner, and the highway to this point has been 4-lane divided. But just after Johnson's Corner, about 1/10 of a mile after, the highway reduces down to 2 lanes and becomes undivided. At mile 29.8 is Malpass Corner, and you can recognize Malpass Corner by the blue water tower. Not long after Malpass Corner is mile 32.2, coming to Ward's Corner.
By the time you've gone 32 miles on this course, you're going to come to Ward's Corner right here. And there's 2 things about Ward's Corner that you need to know. And the first thing is that you're going to make a left turn onto State Highway 53. And the other thing to know is that the convenience store right over there has awesome hot dogs and slushies.
Now you are on a state highway. Up until this point, we've been on major city roads or US highways. And as you can see, there's no shoulder. The road condition is fairly good. The traffic will be light, especially on a Saturday morning, as the race will be on a Saturday. At about mile 33, you are going to make a left turn onto Bell Williams Road. Now, Bell Williams Road is the first county level road that we've encountered in the course so far. In fact, it's the only county level road that we will ride on for this course. One thing that I do want to point out is one of the landmarks here on Bell Williams Road, and that is the Statue House.
So a couple of weeks ago, I was riding down here, and the woman who owns the statues was out mowing the lawn, and I stopped. We talked a bit. Her name's Liz. Very nice woman. She loves angels. She absolutely loves angels, and she says people come from all over to see them, believing they have healing powers. Maybe they do, because I sure enjoy seeing them every time I come down this road. Now this point right here, this stop sign that we come to, this is where Bell Williams Road turns into now North Carolina Highway 210.
And it's going to take us back to Johnson's Corner. We're in the country now. We are out in the middle of nowhere, so if you hear banjo music, pedal faster. As with any course and with any intersection, there is often debris in the intersection, and so when you make turns, left turns or right turns, do be careful. Up at Johnson's Corner, we're going to take a right turn onto 421. At this point, we are headed back south towards Wilmington. And I do want to mention that the southbound lane of Highway 421 is in a little worse condition than the northbound. The northbound I would rate as good, but this southbound lane that you're seeing right now, I would give it a fair. There are some cracks, there are some seams, nothing to loosen your fillings, but just something to be aware of. To mile 56.6 at US 421 and Highway US 74. We're going to take a left here onto US 74, which will take us back over the Isabel Holmes Bridge. And remember, it's a metal bridge, do be careful. And just as you leave the metal surface of that bridge, you have a choice. Actually, you don't have much of a choice because the road will be coned. But just in case there's any confusion, you do not want to go in the right lane, because that right lane actually curves around to the left and will take you back to the beach. You want to stay in this left lane after the bridge. And from 3rd Street, it's a right turn onto Front Street. And we're going to make a left turn onto 2nd Street. And once we're on 2nd Street, we make our final approach into T2.
Well, that's the bike course. Like I said, I rode it a couple of weeks ago from Wilmington to the far end and then back to Wilmington. I did not ride from the beach to Wilmington because that, like the video says, that's counter traffic and I can't ride on the left side of the road if it's not coned off. So I love that course. I mean, it's a great course. I think you're going to love it too. In fact, I think you're going to love this race. If you're not planning on doing it in 2021, plan for it in 2022. Ironman 70.3 North Carolina is a great experience. And we've got a new race director. If she does what I think she's going to do for the post-race food, you're going to love it. It is going to be better than any other Ironman post-race food spread that you'll ever find anywhere. But I'm not gonna spoil it. I'm not gonna tell you what it is. Okay. Now we are over 2 weeks away. Right now the date is October 6th. The race is on October 23rd. There could be some minor changes. If there are and I hear about them, I will post them on my Facebook page and in the blog. All right, I think that's about it.